They have to win, though, 4 matches in a, well, not in a row, but just 4 matches in total, as it is best of 7, so a little bit different. You won't be seeing the best of 5, and we will join the team of Against All Authority in the gates. And top left of your screens is going to be the aAa team. They will be wearing the green flags. You've got Forkin on Priest. On the Rogue, you've got being played by Hiss, and you've got Phoenix on the Mage. And on the other side, you've got Ensidia in the yellow flags. And over on that team, you'll have Flynn playing the Mage. You have Hydra playing the Priest, and also playing the Rogue will be Calamus. So it is an absolute mirror match. Both of the Rogues will be playing Mutilate. Both of the Mages will be playing Frost. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get a round of applause for these 2 teams as we get into round 1 of the Grand Finals. Ensidia versus Against All Authority. And they both deserve to be here. And, well, we are going to switch over to Hiss to start with. He is grouped up by his team. As you can see, they all have green flags there, so that will be an easy way to differentiate them. And over with Calamus for the team of Ensidia in the yellow flag will be joining up on his team. And technically, with an RMP mirror, what we'll be looking to see is where the Rogues open up and how they open up onto what target. If they don't decide to engage each other as far as team goes, there will be a shadow sight buff spawn, which will allow you to see invisible and stealth units. So these Rogues won't be able to stay invisible for much longer, as they will have to make their move. And we'll have to see when it happens, because the opener, Matthew, is so important in RMP.
It certainly is, and we've just witnessed aAa, also known as Flynn, just keeping Phoenix in combat. Both Mages drinking up to full behind those pillars. And interestingly, aAa sometimes uses the evocation glyph for that 60% extra health, but sometimes he uses the mana gem glyph.
And he's actually, look at this, Flynn is very close to the opposing Rogue of Hiss, and almost looked like he could have got sapped in that second. No Blizzard has come in and pulled out any of the Rogues just yet. They really are playing as safe as they can, because they've made it to the Grand Finals, and out comes the Shadow Sight buff. It will be picked up by Phoenix, but he is currently not able to get onto the target that he wants to. Let's switch over to Phoenix. You can see that he's got Calamus targeted. He is going to blink off. Calamus will dart around the other side of the pillar, and he won't be getting pulled out of stealth. Now the debuff has worn off. There is another debuff over here, and it is going to be Calamus to make the move towards it. Surely there comes a sap. In comes a sap. The sap is removed by a Frostbolt. Oh, and it is going to be a Rogue pulled out. Calamus is going to be pulled out of stealth. How is this going to affect him? Hiss has him in target. He's being spam dispelled. There comes a fan of knives. A Vanish comes in, and Calamus turns that one on its head. Absolutely beautiful play. And it is going to be Hiss from the French team pull into the first opener. Now they go head to head as they both use evasion. Looking at the back end, Flynn was firstly pull into Poly. We have power infusion used on one of the priests, and there is healing. I do believe that was actually Hydra. And Calamus is dipping very low, just under half HP there. He gets a Cloak of Shadows used, and will now try and turn the fight back onto its head as he darts away and goes defensive. He is joined up by Hydra there, and will finally get healed. And now Ensidia are going to reset the fight to the best of their ability. Let's check over with Hiss.
If I'm not mistaken, Hiss actually used his trinket on that 5-point kidney that Calamus landed, and aAa have also used their pain suppression. This means that Ensidia have the definite advantage. But then again, looking over to mana, Hydra is sitting at around 3k, while Thorkin's looking comfortable on 8.3.
Yeah, he is indeed. Hiss actually got back into stealth as well. So did Calamus. So the fight has been reset. But yes, as Matthew said, a lot has changed. There comes the sap on to Ensidia's priest, Hydra. Maybe Hiss is going to look for an opener. He's not going to do so. I think a second sap came in, and he's going to look to try and rejoin the fight. Let's check over where Calamus is. He actually is now joined up into the center, and actually look at this. Calamus is now going to be pulled out of stealth. There comes a Nova, which didn't grab Hiss, but he actually got pulled out by Arcane Explosion, and now we have the Rogues going head to head once again. Both of the Mages are going to be standing next to each other. None of them put into Poly just yet. There comes a rejection of Poly. There comes a deep freeze onto the Mage of Against All Authority. Flynn doing a great job there to put out the pressure. And Calamus is, though, winning this rogue-on-rogue fight. Hiss goes down reasonably low. 3k, in comes the damage, and Hiss is going to go down. And Forkin was absolutely in that situation. So he didn't have a mana problem to start with, but he definitely had a mana problem at the end. And it is going to be Ensidia that take round 1. and go into the lead very, very early on. And that game was so close, Matthew. Could have gone either way. I'm not sure the reason why Forkin didn't get his mana back using his pet. Maybe the pet got somehow kind of kited off, or maybe even Hydra hit a mana burn. I was more concerned with who was going to be able to do the damage from the mages, and it did seem like Flynn kind of won that initial fight, forcing a ice block to remove a poly, which obviously still causes a global cooldown, and it still makes it very, very difficult. But if we look at the damages, you can see that everybody was on offense was doing 30,000 damage, and both the healers did around 120,000 healing. So very, very close.